It's important to properly dispose of unwanted medication or sharps. MedProject offers free and convenient disposal options near you. To learn more, call 844-MED-PROJECT or visit medproject.org.
J360 Radio.
Hello, J360 Legion, and welcome to a J360 MiniByte, hosted by J.M. Brady, and I am your host, J.M. Brady. So let's get into it. What's going on, guys? Welcome to Year's End! Haha! Yes, this is a big excitement, guys. It's the last week of the year, and not only that, we're just going to have a lot of enjoyment here on J360 Productions as a whole. Now, the festivities go like this. We're starting with the MiniBytes, of course, for me to let you know how everything goes down. And then, of course, we go from that to the J-Man Show tomorrow to go ahead and recap on some important things of the year. And then on Thursday, we'll go ahead and try to do a couple of tests around here to get things excited for J360 Jams to happen. Now, the thing about Thursday is it's usually for the power play. I know. I mean, one way or another, you guys know the schedule. I know the schedule. And see, the thing is, I've been working on some new stuff for the power play. And not to mention, I got some more games in here that are on the list. Now, the best way to start this off is to talk to you guys about the power play. I got a challenge not too long ago. After all that trolling of OMG over at the Cult 45 podcast, he finally decided to go ahead and challenge me to a 5v5 on Halo 3. Well, yeah, I went ahead and I picked the game. One way or another, me and Beat 'em Down, our two respected teams are going to be facing off against each other in some of the most craziest matches you've ever seen. I'm willing to accept his challenge because, for one thing, he keeps running around saying that I duck him on UFC 3. I don't even know if the netcode on UFC 3 is still good. Why would I waste my time with that? If anything, I'd be looking forward to, like, UFC 4. Or even better, I'd be looking forward to, I don't know, Street Fighter? Yeah, because that's all I've been saying as I've been doing these shows lately. Fight me on Street Fighter, you jerk! Jeez. I mean, if you want to take me down on a game, guys, I mean, fight me on a game that, you know, once again, it's in my lifeblood. Fight me in my home. You understand what I'm saying? Fight me on God's cathedral, as I always say. Let us fight on the hill of champions, not in the hill of shrubs. Yeah, I said it. Because, I mean, I'm sure UFC were a great series of games, and I'm not denying their existence, but at the same time, who still plays that other than him? And I'm sure he's kicking all sorts of ass in easy mode, because that's just what he do. But hey, enough about beating him down. This is J360 Productions time. One way or another, you're going to see that stuff take place 9 p.m. Eastern on the Twitch channel. That's twitch.tv/J360TV. It goes down if you want to watch my side of it. If you want to watch Beat 'em Down side of it, allegedly he's got video over there. I don't care. One way or another, you're going to enjoy watching me and my team get mean and crush him. And there being said, I'll be looking at it, I'll be like, yeah, you had that coming, son. Yeah, don't worry, man. Keep kissing the ground. As a matter of fact, stay down. Final warning. Yeah, we're going to have a good time pumping him full of lead. But let me tell you this, though, before we get anywhere else with this. I managed to look at a few good movies this past couple of weeks. And, well, to be honest with you, you guys know what I'm about to say, right? Wonder Woman 84. What the hell happened with that? After all that promising in a successful first movie, the sophomore slump finally hit Wonder Woman. That did not take long at all. You want to know the sad part about all that? There was a lot of hope in that. Like, I mean, if you look at the trailer, well, trailers are always going to look good in some way, and in other ways, trailers are always going to be like too much hype to break the film. But one way or another, a lot of us were excited to see Gal Gadot and Patty Jenkins reunite for a sequel that could probably hold a candle to that. Because that first one was really well done, you know? But maybe it's COVID, maybe it's a whole lot of series of different things, but that movie had problems more or less like, what did they do? Did they take the first draft of the script and decide to say, hey, yeah, that's production quality now? No, because I know Patty Jenkins wrote the script along with Jeff Johns. And Jeff Johns is great as a comic book writer, but he's still trying to get that one that really cements him as a screenwriter. And I guess the styles can be conflicting at times. I mean, if you think about it, a comic book more or less is just a 22-page storyboard that we all read all the time. You know? One way or another, the fabrics of making a decent production is there. It's just... This movie wasn't that good, guys. I don't care what these reviews and all these people are running around saying nowadays. I see it all the time on the trailers and stuff. #1 movie, blah, 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 this and all that. Against what? What is competing with that film right now? I mean, yeah, when you go back to theaters, you want to go back to something that really captures you the first time you wanted to go to the movie, that gave you an experience. You know what I mean? When I go and I pay money to see something at the IMAX, that better be worth my time. That better be like Godzilla King of the Monsters grade. You understand what I'm saying? And before any of y'all go on and say this, if you ain't seen it in IMAX or in one of those where like it's a huge screen and it curves around you and just blasts is going on everywhere, then shut up. I'm talking about movies that entertain, not movies that will go ahead and just be like, oh, they sad and they trying something. Hear me. One way or another, this particular movie, Gal Gadot was great. She's always great. That is Wonder Woman. You know what I mean? I had my doubts in the beginning, but when I saw her in BVS, she was awesome. And she carries the torch for that. However, there are things that go on in this new movie that's not really favorable. Like Steve Trevor, the whole monkey paws plot. Like, yes, this one more or less had a MacGuffin plot. I mean, granted, you know, Wonder Woman sometimes in her comics, she does have to deal with artifacts that come from Greece, you know, ancient Greece and all. And then the god of deception plays a role in this. Yeah, maybe. But, you know, if that's the case, I'd like to see an Ares story get set up or something like that. You know? Something that really, really deals with, you know, more of the magical verses of her lore, maybe. This is a good start. No, not a good start at all. Because, see, at the end of it all, like, you know, monkey's paw thing, you got to give something up that you enjoy, but for something you desire. And then she ended up bringing Steve Trevor back in the form of another person. And then, you know, you can go ahead with all the he toos and all that kind of stuff. Me too, all that. But the thing is, it's like, it's very lazy. It's a lazy plot. So only she could see him. And then the first thing they do, they have sex. I'm like, granted, she's been in mourning for such a long time because of Steve, but still, it's like, no. I'm not buying it. You mean to tell me that she couldn't really find anybody else to fit the bill? You mean to tell me that one way or another we couldn't do something better than this? And while she's great as a hero, this is your direction for her. She had to give up her strength so he could live again. So Superman 2 plot. Richard Donner is a great director, and he had great plans for Supes. But let's just be real here. Stop the crap where it's like, oh, this is a homage to this is a homage to that. It's good to pay respects, don't get me wrong. But let me tell you this for future directors and producers and all that stuff, as a filmmaker myself. Just make the damn movie. I mean, just make a movie. Who cares? God, just make the movie. Sometimes it's okay to have a 2-hour escape. I'm serious. Make the movie. I ain't worried about Richard Donner. I'm not worried about Christopher Nolan. I'm not worried about George Lucas. I'm not worried about any of these people. They had their time. It's our time now. We make our own styles. We go through all the stresses. We know what the production thing. We know all the executive meddling and all that stuff that takes place, but it doesn't mean we have to accept it. Make your movie. And what with Patty Jenkins doing this, it's like, this is sloppy as hell. This movie is crap. It's a hodgepodge. Like, and then there's so many subplots. And then you got Cheetah. Everybody talks about how bad Cheetah looked. I agree. I agree. But then again, we all got traumatized by cats, because that was weird too. But the thing is that, yes, she was going to turn into an anamorphic cheetah-based creature. That was going to happen. But her whole characterization was just lazy. Didn't do nothing with the principal villain in the mytho, man. I mean, some of y'all say Ares, but most of the time Wonder Woman's trading blows against Cheetah. And then even then, she's not the Cheetah anymore at the end of the movie. Like, what is this? And then she was a very timid woman in the beginning. And then chances are she was almost getting raped by one of the dudes out there in Washington. I think more or less Washington's not exactly a safe place to be at, just like how New York was in the 80s. So that's kind of true to form, but at the same time, they went down hard on taking out the patriarchy, right? Went down hard on it, right? I look at this crap and I'm like, once again, you're not serving anybody with your identity politics here. More or less, like, I came to see a superhero film. If I really cared about it, I looked at it because it was something of interest, and they figured, hey, let's see what happens here. But one way or another, she's not really Wonder Woman in, like, most of the movie. And then it's all about reuniting with Steve. And then at the end of it all, she looks at a red balloon float away, whereas the guy who was the vessel for Steve's spirit is over there on the other side, and she just does one of those kind of smiles. And I love seeing Gal Gadot smile, but that particular smile was like, yeah, I made love to that body. You won't remember, but I did. What the hell was that? It's just a waste. That's why I'm glad, like, one way or another, I went to go see Soul. At least Soul had a story there. Soul was about living life to the fullest, you know what I mean? Because your time could end at any time. And when you watch something like Soul, it really captures you. It really lets you know that, hey, guess what? Do things to the fullest. Don't take things for granted. If you're in a hole right now, you won't be in that hole forever if you work yourself out of it. There are ways that you can be fulfilled. That was beautiful. That's something that had my attention. Whereas with Wonder Woman or less, I was like, this isn't what I would anticipate. Especially for, like, the most successful movie in the DCEU canon. Because everybody's still waiting on that Snyder Cut, which allegedly is supposed to be 4 parts now. I'm like, damn. Really? Like, I would love the Justice League to have a decent live-action movie, but at the same time, it's like, I think we're going a little too far with this. This is a little much, but nobody wants to say anything against HBO Max right now, because HBO Max is the new kid on the block, and they got a lot of cool content there, but at the same time, there's still a lot to question about it. And then not only that, despite all the negativity and all this stuff going on, Wonder Woman 3 is fast-track coming out. Well, I'm hoping that this will be the movie that fixes things, because this second outing sucked. I'm sorry. Usually I don't go out of my way to tell people why the movie is bad and that's it, but I'll give you significant reasons, and I'm going to say, hey, watch it on your own token, but once you realize what you used to watch this movie, whether it's good at the theater or go to HBO Max, you're going to realize that this was a letdown. You understand what I'm saying? Now, a lot of y'all will probably be like, well, Jay, aren't you primarily a Marvel fan? I'm a Marvel and a DC fan. Get it right. I will happily correct you. It's like to the point where, I say this a lot with any property. Just tell a story and give us a good experience. Don't be lazy about it. Don't be doing no halfways. And if you got to do reshoots, make the reshoots happen. I know one way or another the studios have too much control over things, but I do know a lot of these studios just rest on their laurels or spend a lot of their money on blow or go get the latest tattoo here or there or do something that really doesn't serve the people who actually consume this crap. And it's a waste of time. Like, it pisses me off because one way or another, I'm somebody that's working to try to make a difference in this industry, to go out ahead and to make the movies. But I got to deal with things like this, or people trying to hold my productions hostage, or all these other things where people will not resonate to my projects because, hey, it just doesn't serve the talk in town when I'm just trying to tell a damn story. And how much money is brought into this? You understand what I'm saying? It's enough to make you sick. Pew! Pop! Patooey! I say. Shame. Shame on all that. See, that's why I didn't seem like I had anything to respond to beat him down with, because I got bigger things to fry other than deal with his ass. But Saturday, I'm coming for you, pal. And we're going to have a pretty interesting week, guys, to get prepared for, 2021. And the thing about it is, we keep doing little politics like this when it comes to films and stuff. I really have a lot of work to do. But till then, though, this is the J-Man signing off. I hope you all take it easy until next time. I will catch you all later. The J-Man Show happens tomorrow night at 10, okay? Peace.
all know a guy who only occasionally shaves for big occasions, and it's because that occasional shave really hurts. It's the time of year for big occasions, and yet there he is, suffering with that cheap drugstore razor. Let's help him out. Henson Shaving's line of razors, built with aerospace precision, deliver a smooth shave your dad, brother, and even son can enjoy, eventually. With replacement blades just 10 cents each, you'll buy it once and they'll use it for life. How's that for the perfect gift? Celebrate with 100 free blades on your first purchase, and no subscription headaches. HensonShaving.com/holiday.